Hello again, everybody. I'm coming to you today with an old recipe. It belonged to my grandmother and my granny, and it's something they made a lot back in the Depression. They had a lot of kids, and it was something sweet that they could fix for them that didn't take a whole lot of ingredients. And I've altered the ingredients a little bit, but not too much. Stuff was hard to come by back then. Sugar and they mostly had lard to use. They didn't have Crisco or anything like that. Very little sugar. But I'm going to show you how to mix these up. And I've already went ahead and made a batch, and I've already made some cookies, the tea cakes, and I've made some batter. And I'm going to show you how to mix these, and then I'm going to set it aside. And then I'm going to go ahead and roll out some and cut some out, put them on the cookie sheet, and fix them for you to make the video a little bit shorter. But anyhow, you're going to start out with 2 egg yellows, a cup of sugar, and you're going to beat this together. Hang on just a second. Gotta have a cup of buttermilk. Hang on. Can I add the buttermilk? Well, I'm making all kinds of disaster this morning. Mix my buttermilk, my egg, my sugar all together. Then I'm going to put in some vanilla, about a teaspoon. I use a cap to judge. It's about a teaspoon. Mix that in. Then we're going to add in 1/2 cup of Crisco. You can use lard if you want to. That's what they did. They used lard, but that's really all they had to use back then, because everybody killed their own hogs. And like I said, it was back during the Depression years. My dad, he grew up during the Depression. He really liked these things. He said his mama, my granny, she used to make these by the lard can full around the holidays. Sometimes they would put plain white sugar on them. Sometimes they would put raisins on them. Sometimes they'd make a little icing, chocolate icing or something, if they had the chocolate to do it with. This comes together a lot like a biscuit. Add your flour in. Mix it all together. Got a fan on over here and it's blowing my flour everywhere. It's hot in this kitchen when you're baking. I've got the air on too, but it still gets hot. Oh well. We're not perfect here. We're just plain old country folk trying to show you an old recipe. Hope you'll enjoy it. Hope you'll make it. Hope it brings back some memories for you. You're going to bring all this together into a dough like I'm doing right now. You can get in there with your hands and put a little extra flour if you need it, but I've already got some made up, so I'll come back and finish this after the video's over. But that's what it's looking like, and you're just going to make a dough. I've already got some here. I've already got some that I've made, and I'll show you what it looks like. It's just like almost like a biscuit. But we're going to roll it out. You can cut these into any kind of shapes you want. At Easter, my mama used to make these, and she would cut these out in Easter shapes like rabbits and different things. And you can make them for Christmas and cut them in Christmas designs. But right now, I'm just going to cut mine in circles and squares. We're going to cut a few circles with my biscuit cutter. Square cutter here, and we'll cut some in squares. Lay them on the cookie sheet here. This back together, and I'll come back in a minute and roll these back into some more cookies, tea cakes. We're going to put these in the oven on the middle rack. We're going to bake them at 375 for about 12 minutes. You can check them, and if you want them a little browner, you can make them a little browner. If you don't want them quite as brown, you don't have to cook them quite as long. I've already got some that I made. I'll come over here and I'll show you what they look like. Here's some that I made with just the sugar. Some round ones, some square ones. And then here's some that I've added chocolate to. I made a chocolate icing using a cup of sugar, a tablespoon of butter, and then just enough cream to soften my sugar. And I brought it to a boil and cooked it about 3 minutes on the stove. I added a teaspoon of vanilla and pulled it off the burner. Then I put in a tablespoon of peanut butter. That's the kind of icings we like. But I'm just going to use my spoon and ice them. I'm not going to get fancy and use a little fancy spatula or anything. And you just continue icing them until you get them all icing. They won't last very long. People will tear them up. They're not an overly sweet treat, but they're really good. They're really, really good. Something I grew up eating. I really like them. My kids like them. Well, that's all I got for you today. I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you'll try to make some old-fashioned tea cakes for your family. Thank you.